Okay, here's a wild thought. Have you ever wondered what could possibly connect the birth of our entire universe, the Big Bang, to something you do every day, like checking your bank account? It sounds like a massive stretch, right? But the answer is actually one of the most powerful forces shaping our world today: big data. Let's dive in and see how. Now, this isn't some kind of riddle. It's a real question that takes us right to the cutting edge of science and technology. And to find the answer, we've got to start at a place that's trying to solve the biggest mysteries of them all. So, our story begins at a place called CERN, which stands for the European Organization for Nuclear Research. And let me tell you, this isn't just any old lab. This is a place on an absolutely epic quest to understand the very fabric of reality itself. CERN is located right on the border between Switzerland and France, and it's home to the Large Hadron Collider, or the LHC. This is, and I mean this literally, the largest and most complex machine ever built by humanity. Just try to picture a 27-kilometer ring designed for one purpose: to probe the deepest secrets of the universe. Now, CERN has been around for a while, but it really shot into the global spotlight back in 2013. That's when they discovered the Higgs boson. You might have heard it called the God particle. It was a massive, massive breakthrough in physics. But you know what? That incredible discovery was really just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle. So, what is the LHC actually doing down there? Well, in the simplest terms, it's like a cosmic time machine. It smashes tiny particles together at almost the speed of light, creating these little fireballs of energy that are just like the conditions a fraction of a second after the Big Bang. It's like having a cosmic camera that's taking snapshots of the universe's birth. But here's the thing. Taking all those snapshots creates a problem. And not just a small problem, an issue on an unimaginable scale. It unleashes a complete and total tsunami of digital information. Get this. Every single second that the LHC is up and running, it's generating 40 million particle collisions. Every single second. And each one of those is a potential discovery, each one creating more and more data. This absolute fire hose of collisions produces over 15 petabytes of new data every year. Now, to put that into perspective for you, just 1 petabyte is 1,000,000 gigabytes. It is an absolutely astronomical amount of information. In fact, the data is so massive that CERN can't even handle it by themselves. They rely on a huge global network of over 100 data centers just to store and process all of it. So, here's the crucial point. The problem isn't just the sheer volume, the size of the data. It's that all this information is scattered all over the globe. It exists in tons of different formats, from neat databases to messy log files and even wikis. And for the 3,000-plus physicists trying to make sense of it all, finding the right piece of information was like trying to find a needle in a global haystack. So how in the world do you solve a problem like that? Well, you don't use old tools. You have to invent a completely new way to tame this digital beast. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because it shows why the standard databases that have been used for decades just couldn't work for CERN. You see, they're rigid. They require all your data to fit into these neat, predefined boxes, a structure we call a schema. But scientific discovery, it's messy, it's unpredictable. You have no idea what shape the box needs to be beforehand. CERN needed flexibility, big time. So their solution was a custom-built tool they called the Data Aggregation System, or DAS for short. It's basically a super intelligent search engine for scientists, and it was built on a modern, flexible kind of database technology called MongoDB. The cool thing is, unlike those traditional databases, it doesn't force data into those rigid boxes, which made it perfect for handling all that messy, unpredictable scientific info. And this just shows you how brilliantly it works. A physicist anywhere in the world can just type in a simple search query like they would in Google. DAS then goes out and simultaneously hunts through all those different scattered data sources, pulls everything relevant together, and presents it as a single unified result. And even better, it remembers the search, so the next time someone looks for it, it's almost instant. So what's the big picture here? What's the takeaway? Well, CERN's absolutely massive problem is actually a perfect example of a challenge that is now everywhere, from the frontiers of science right down to the smartphone in your pocket. You see, CERN's struggle with its data deluge, it wasn't some isolated, weird science problem. It was an extreme, early version of the problem that nearly every modern organization is facing right now, the challenge of big data. So what is big data officially? Well, it's any collection of data that is simply too large, moving too fast, or is just too complex for old-school database technology to handle effectively. And here's a key thing. What counts as big is totally relative. What's big for a local corner store is tiny for a company like Google or, CERN. To really wrap our heads around big data, experts break it down into 6 core characteristics. They're often called the 6 V's. Think of it as the anatomy of any big data challenge. All right, let's walk through them real quick. First, you have the 3 most famous V's. There's volume, that's just the sheer size. Think about NADRA handling biometric data for an entire country. Then you've got variety, which means data in all kinds of different forms, like a telecom company looking at call records, texts, and social media posts. And velocity is the incredible speed that data is coming in, like Kareem needing real-time location data to even work. But it doesn't stop there. Veracity is all about how trustworthy the data is. A bank needs accurate customer info, right? Variability is about inconsistent speeds, like the crazy traffic spikes Draws gets during a big sale. And finally, we get to the most important V of all, value, which is kind of the whole point of doing any of this. And let's just pause on variety for a second, because this is huge. As this chart shows, something like 80 to 85% of the data being generated today is unstructured. We're talking emails, videos, social media posts. It's stuff that doesn't fit into neat tables, which is exactly the problem CERN was facing. So, this brings us to that final, and I'd argue, most important V. Because wrestling with all this volume and velocity and variety is completely pointless without one crucial outcome. And that V is value. You can have all the petabytes in the world, but they are completely useless if you can't turn them into meaningful insight. Without value, big data isn't a resource. It's just digital noise. It's a massive storage bill and nothing more. So why does all this matter to you? Because harnessing the value of big data is what drives discoveries at places like CERN. It's what lets companies give you better, faster customer service. It's what helps your bank detect fraud on your account. And it's what powers the smart, data-driven world that we are all increasingly living in. The journey from the Big Bang to your bank account reveals a really powerful lesson. Just like the physicists at CERN, we've all become masters at collecting data. But their real breakthrough wasn't just managing a data tsunami. It was building new tools so they could ask questions they couldn't even dream of asking before. So the challenge for all of us is pretty clear. It's not just about having the data. It's about having the courage and the creativity to ask the right question.